Hello, people. Hello, most esteemed, knowledgeable ones. If horror films are your favorite genre, if you have listened spellbound to scary stories, and if the mysterious, the mystical, and the terrifying attract you, then you will probably be fascinated by a journey to several places in Bulgaria, a small country in the Balkans, Europe, cursed and known for stories of wandering spirits and ghosts. Leave the lights on. We promise you a chilling journey into the depths of mysterious forces and nightmarish visions. 1. The village of Shishensi and the wandering shadows and Samodivas. We mention it again, and for good reason. Besides Samodivas, this village has other forces roaming there. The handful of remaining locals in the village of Shishensi are forced to believe. Every night they hear voices, screams, the sound of drums, and see apparitions. The locals believe these are the souls of wedding guests killed many years ago by the Tatars on a festive day. The terrifying stories of Shishensi do not end here. The locals also believe that a Samodiva dance takes place around the village cemetery, often seeing trampled grass in a circle there and shadows of women in long dresses holding hands. Anyone who glimpses the Samadivas gradually goes blind or suddenly loses their sanity. The locals strongly advise visitors to the village to keep the lights on at night and not to leave their shelter after sunset, because Shishensi is among the 5 places in Bulgaria that are cursed and ominous. 2. The mysterious deaths in the village of Sonevo. If shadows and sounds are not frightening enough for you, visit the village of Tesonevo, where a ghostly house takes victims. Its inhabitants. The house, built on land where a church was supposed to be erected, has never found an owner, because everyone who rented or bought it died in a mysterious way. The owners disappeared without a trace during a summer storm, were crushed by trains, or fell fatally ill. The locals believe that the spirits of these deceased people still inhabit the house, and that it awaits its next occupants in order to take revenge by taking their lives as punishment for the unbuilt church. 3. The village of Musachevo and the cursed house, another house, located near Sofia, stands empty and no one dares to buy it, as stories are told that it is inhabited by spirits and, like the house in Sonevo, takes the lives and health of its inhabitants. Locals say that the cursed house was built on Turkish graves and is inhabited by evil forces that harm anyone who tries to own the property or live in it. The negative energy can be felt even near the house. This is also testified by Father and exorcist Gelemanov, according to whom the souls would come only after numerous blessing rituals for the house to become livable. Would you spend the night in this mysterious and terrifying house? Some have tried, but fled in horror. Science is powerless before these phenomena. The locals preserve frightening stories. Legends in the village say that years ago 2 craftsmen were hired to repair the dreadful house and make it livable again. They stayed overnight in it, and both had the same nightmares 2 nights in a row. When they shared and realized they had dreamed the same thing, they became frightened and abandoned the work. Since then, no new repairs have been undertaken. Others tell that years ago, during a village fair, a German arrived as a guest. He was an adventurer, and as soon as he learned that in Musachevo there was a house said to be cursed, he decided to enter it and spend the night inside. In the morning, he came out pale and trembling. In just one night, his hair had turned white. When asked why he had not left earlier, he replied that he could not. Without giving further explanation, he left. In 2013, the building was even put up for sale at the symbolic price of 1 lev. But because of the misfortunes that befell its previous owners, no one willing to buy it was found. For years, locals spoke with fear about the ghostly house, located just meters from the cemetery, while the area around it remained deserted. In 2016, the house was bought, but after 2 months of unsuccessful attempts to carry out any kind of repair, it was put up for sale again. 4. Mysterious forces and extraterrestrial life near Sarachina. Near the village of Sarachina, Sofia region, its story is chilling. At this place, the general staff of the army conducted secret excavations in search of something unseen. The first being or the bodies of extraterrestrials. However, the excavations stopped suddenly and everything was buried again. People in the village say that the army personnel were visited by extraterrestrial beings and that bad and terrifying things began to happen to them, which forced them to cease work and bury the whole. The place has gained a reputation as one of the 5 cursed locations in Bulgaria that bring misfortune. 5. The dead village of Zhivkovtsi, the village of the devil. Located near Montana, the village of Zhivkovtsi was full of life until 1968, when its inhabitants began to relocate. Later flooded by the waters of the Augusta Dam, today the village is destroyed, and the only preserved building is the local church. However, it is eerie that the frescoes in this church have been erased, except for one image, that of the devil. Even more frightening is the fact that anyone who saw this image reportedly met a tragic fate and a sinister end. This makes the ruined village of Zhivkovtsi one of the 5 cursed and terrifying places in Bulgaria.